Hi, the Brisbane Broncos are 12-9 after beating the Redcliffe Dolphins. Yeah, I said it. 38-28 on Saturday night, holding on to their top 8 position and making them 5-1 all time against the Dolphins. And what a game. One that was tied up at halftime and seemed over 10 minutes into the first half when the Dolphins scored 2 tries in 7 minutes, to which the Broncos replied, okay, sure, watch this 40-20 and now here's 3 tries in 6 minutes. How do you feel about that? Of course, it's a bit more complex than that, and we'll get into it, but when I see Tony Staggs get up and hit his signature celebration, the one that he saves just for this game, I can't help but let the caveman part of my brain take over. Of course, the Dolphins were never going to win this game. What chance do they have playing at the home ground of not only the best team to ever compete in any sport, but the domain of a fullback? Form is so sky high. He's not just touched God, he's become him, and is now in the best form of any player in the competition, plus his friend, the mayor of Moreton Bay, if he can even be bothered to go there. Dwayne Bennett, I know it's a job and not everything you do is exactly your decision, but regardless, I regret to tell you it's on site. This is an important game for the Broncos, not only because they needed to keep their distance from the Dolphins and all the other teams that they hoped would lose this weekend won, but also because this new halves pairing had to work and work quickly. And would you believe it? They did. Billy Walters haters, we had a good run, and there were plenty of battles won along the way, especially last season, but Walters has won the war, and most importantly, won me over. That's the best game that he's ever played, and it's the Karapani try that has me admitting defeat. You can see Billy backing up through the middle on the break, and before he takes the pass from Smoothie, he snaps his neck to see who's outside him. Then he puts Fuller on skates, looks up again, and fires the kick, which lands on a dime for Karapani, who is exactly where a winger should be because that's his thing. And it's 4 of the most insane points you'll ever see. Credit also to the Fox Sports crew in the truck who changed to a wide shot after Walters kicks it for the big reveal. There's been a man there the whole time. I think that's the most 2025 Broncos try. They start on tackle 5 within their own half. Walsh puts Staggs into a gap. Katoni makes a nice run and gets it away to Smoothie, who's playing in his 5th game of the year, who gets it to Walters, who's playing out of position, who kicks to Karapani in his return from reserve grade. Guys who are not just playing beyond expectation, but out of their skin. And while we're still in the glazing segment of this video, which to be honest could be the whole thing, Reece Walsh is the best fullback in the comp, no matter how you slice it, be it on talent, form, or numbers. Since returning from injury, Walsh has either scored or assisted on 15 of the Broncos' 31 tries, a number which would be exactly half if the game-winning try against the Eels hadn't been called back. For comparison, taking a 6-game sample, since that's how long Sam Walker has been back from his injury and also the amount of games that Cleary has played in a row, Walsh has recorded 10 tries and assists, Teddy 9, Cleary 8, Isaiah Katoa 7, and Walker 14, all assists. Roosters' attack is pretty good. Back to Walsh, his numbers in this game, 18 points with 1 try and 6 conversions, 249 run meters, 51 post contact, 2 line break assists, 1 try assist, 12 tackle breaks, kicks 154 meters including a 40-20 and a forced dropout, and the single error, which was apparently from him contesting a kick in the first half, but was actually when he put the ball out of bounds on a kickoff. I'm also crediting him with an extra try assist for the Mariner try and a half try assist for Karapani putting the ball down in the opening exchanges. Update the graphic. And it's a well-deserved battle for Brisbane medal for Walsh in a game where a lot of guys played well, but he was far and away the best player on the field. I've tried to be more objective with Walsh and not glaze him too hard recently, and I think just presenting the raw numbers of how good he's been, the hole directly responsible for nearly half of all the Broncos tries since he came back, does a good job of it, but I think it's time to turn it up a notch because this guy's at another level right now. And when the Broncos are down 14, they've conceded 2 quick and easy tries to start the second half. It's looking a whole lot like the games that the Broncos have been losing all season. 2 quick tries against the Broncos can sink this team. Think the Dragons game, the Penrith game, the first Warriors game, the Raiders game, all of those teams scored 2 quick tries and that was it. It was enough to break the Broncos. And in the lead up, Carrigan's got beat by Fuller for his try, and while Walsh can't realistically do much on the 2-and-1, he at least didn't do the star jump that he was doing last year. But he's beat 2 and then can bounce it a few minutes later by putting a kick out of bounds, which leads to Jeremy Marshall-King's try, which is also embarrassing. Hetherington is in the dirt and there's a mouse in the house who's diving past 3 bench forwards. Thankfully, Madge acted quickly from that and put Haas straight back on. But it's warning sign city for the Broncos. Everything is falling apart, and even in the next set, the Dolphins hand the Broncos the ball 8 meters away from the try line and do it easily. Trey Fuller has another line break in the process, and with the ball back, the Broncos are struggling to get out of their end. Took a good run from Karapani to get to the 40, which allowed Walsh to take the kick. And he does it on tackle 4 when there's nothing else on and absolutely nails it. And sometimes the game is an accumulation of all 80 minutes and the effort of 17 players was get to the win, and sometimes one guy is just better than everyone else and he does one thing that changes the game. And in the first half, we had a contest of 2 teams. It was up and down action. Both teams executed really well. The Dolphins getting in first after Katoa throws an absolute seed to get Hammer outside of Staggs. And okay, if you can make that pass and put it into the hands of a guy who can run that fast, I don't know what to say other than sure, you can score. Then the Broncos' first try is a bit the same. Hammer has to commit to Walsh because he's almost halfway through the line by the time that he's passed to Katoni. Then Staggs is just too strong. Fuller is a speed bump along the way, and Katoni is so strong that he can put the ball down when Hamaso is holding up the rest of his body. The only of Katoni's limbs touching the ground at the time of scoring is the hand carrying the ball and his hog. And he wants to hit the our home celebration, but he holds off. It's too soon. Penalties both ways make it 8, then the Dolphins take the lead again through Avarillo, which comes from some great skill by Dolgahue, looking like a 6 here. Then what did I say in the preview about Jake Avarillo? You cannot trust this man. When he looks like he's about to pass, he's not. And the Broncos line is out of place because Donahue has mucked it up. Walters and Sheba can't slide, and Karapani is holding out for the ball to Azarko, and that's just good footy. Other teams are allowed to be good every now and then, and I'm confident in saying that because the Broncos hit back 6 minutes later with a bit of Carrigan office work. If you are a defending team and you see this shape, good luck. Then Walsh stays with Sheba and puts on the afterburners once he's got the ball. In that first half, the Broncos forwards took advantage through the middle, especially in the last 15 or so minutes when the Dolphins were struggling to stop the initial contact. Guys were falling off tackles and they were burning through their interchange. All of that let the backs get to work, but it was really Walsh and Katoa doing whatever they wanted. Start of the second half, the Broncos forwards were starting to get punished. They opened up the guts, and that's how we get to this moment by Walsh that flips the game on its head. But I just want to go back one more time. What did Ben Hunt say in this huddle? And can we transcribe it and read it out before every game? Because it worked. And once Walsh kicked the 40-20, it was a different game, and the Broncos let chaos reign, putting up 18 points in 6 minutes. That's 3 points a minute. On the restart, they go for it on tackle 2. Hunt holds the ball just long enough for the Dolphins to be so afraid of Walsh that they tackle him anyway, and Mariner does a good job to beat 3. Live, I couldn't believe that Smoothie looked off Haas twice, but hey, it all worked out. Go back to back within 5 tackles, Walsh setting up Staggs after Donahue has tried and failed to put him in the dirt, then it's off the boot of the difference, and we know how that ends. Tie game. Then I know this wasn't the flashiest try, but when Tolte crossed, I reached delirium and the first time that the Broncos took the lead. And I wanted to see going back who called it, Tolte or Hunt, and you can see Hunt calls it. It's the Reynolds-Gashevsky play, but also that's how talented guys are nowadays, that a bench forward who's playing reserve grade most of the season can score a try with a put down like that. And that's probably one of the reasons that he got called up. But the point is, no one sucks anymore. The ceiling for talent has never been higher, but the floor has come up with it. And it's not over. We've still got one more try, but not before Kobe Hetherington has spilled his lollies on the 20 and let the Dolphins have a crack. And the Broncos can be really proud of their defense here. Hunt plays some great individual defense on Katoa to shut down a first movement. Then with the Dolphins spread left, the entire defense slides and shuts down any chance of scoring. After that shot by Redcliffe, the Broncos get up the field, make an error, then get it back through an Azarko error. 2 tries in this game came after errors by my close personal friend Jermaine Azarko, taking a very broad interpretation of all 3 of those words. And it's a beautiful kick by Hunt. Dolphins have made a tactical point of putting Nafua back into the in-goal so that he can run onto a kick that goes to Mariner, so Hunt goes Galifianakis and puts it between 2 Dolphins, and I really enjoy that. The Dolphins make it super obvious that they are absolutely 100% contesting the kick, no penalty try here please. So Hunt puts in a man shorter and out of reach. Great grab from Cotoni, and here's the celebration, and it's an earned one. Welcome home. In that period of chaos throughout the 4 tries, Walsh doesn't get credited directly with any of it, but he's responsible for basically all of it. Every time he had the ball, he had the intention of the entire defense, which he was also just running through. And even when he didn't have the ball, they were terrified that he still might get it. But he visits sick kids in hospital and they paint his nails, and since there's no valid criticism of him available, I guess that's a problem. Walsh wins this game for the Broncos. The last 13 minutes is still pretty high intensity, but a bit lower execution. Broncos defense went up a notch to keep it beyond doubt. There was a funny moment when Ricky barbecued Mariner for absolutely no reason. All he had to do was give him the ball and get out of the way, but I guess Jordan wanted to do a little role reversal, Benchy Marshall, Pat Richards style. And the only real chance the Dolphins have goes to ground because it seems that this pass from Katoa is just too good. And Sheba's not getting beat anyway, and that's game. A lot to be happy for in this game. The team was put into a situation that has tended to go from bad to worse for them, and they reversed course. Walsh was outstanding, Haas was untouchable, Hunt looked like he'd been the 7 the entire season, Walters was amazing, Pakes played some great defense in the first half, and Smoothie went out there and had the ball singing in the second half. 40 great minutes from both. Corey Jensen was a monster. He ran 138 metres. Jordan Ricky ran for 132, and the only thing he did wrong was funny. Jaden Hunt played extended minutes and didn't miss a step. Tolte 33 minutes, all of them great. The only really tough news is that Jack Gashevsky has an AC joint injury. Nothing official how bad that is, but it's probably not good. And they have to be careful with Piakura since he's had 3 head knocks this year already and a bad history. So we might be getting more Jaden Hunt, and hopefully he plays as well as he did in this game. All that being said, no one was gutless. The system kind of breaks when they play a good game, and that's why I love it. Then 3 points, it has to go to Walsh, and I'm going to break from tradition and give bulk 2 points out because so many guys played well. And also the award is a 2-horse race at this point. 2 points to Haas, Hunt, Walters, and Stagg. Great games by all. Then 1 point goes to Carrigan. You know what? 1 point to Madge too. 3 games to go, Walsh can still catch Haas. Then I have to rock up to Captain's Run and be like, hey, you won an award, come and get it. And it's just like half a kilo of Italian sausages from Roadie Meats. That's an idea in draft, but those are really good snags. I'll just lean over the sideline. Who wants some meat? Anyway, that's the ball game. And it was great. Go Bronx.